Nah.
What'd you
I
say?
told you I only bought it for a month.
Alright, get ready.
Yeah.
Hello all, this is the first official CampFire Creatures. On my right here is our guest, Troy Miller. Troy, you want to say something?
I'm a big, tall motherfucker who didn't play football and regrets his decision. I now do tree work 4 days a week, and I hang out with my best buds on the weekends and get blitzed out of my mind.
All right, and then right next to me right here is William Dollar. What do you want to say, Willie?
It's AKA Swill. Thank you very much. Alright. Just redneck boy from Florida. That's all y'all need to know.
All right, Troy's messing shit up.
Jesus Christ.
All right. What the fuck? All right,
You
so
can edit this out,
I'm,
just edit this out. Great way to start the first official podcast. Troy
it's still
Franklin.
going, Troy.
Yeah. Still recording.
Did you
Troy.
fucking break the
Just edit
chair?
that out. No, we don't even need
Sit
that.
down slowly, please.
Alright, there we go.
All right.
We're good.
So I'm Garren. I'm one of the 4 hosts of the podcast. I have 2 other channels, Riot Memes, Riot Gaming. Check it out if you want. That's really all I can say about me. To my left here is my good boy Eli. What you want to say, Eli?
Can't really say much. Just the same thing that old Swilly over there kind of said. Regular old Florida man, just working hard, hardly working, making it through life, and having a good time while I'm doing it.
And then, of course, we got the one and only Ricky Sanchez.
Ricky
Sanchez.
Ricky
What would you like to say, Ricky?
I'm Ricky.
All
That's
right.
about it. That's all
Short
we
and
really-
simple.
Short, simple, and sweet. That's all we need to hear.
So what's the first topic we're going to talk about today?
The first thing I want to ask old Mr. Troy is that you said earlier specifically that you were kind of an only child, but not really. So what specifically do you mean by that? Did you grow up
Me and
without-
my sister are 10. I have 2 older brothers. One's 19 years older than me. The other one is 15 years older than me.
Golly.
My sister is my fully blood-related sister. Share the same mom and dad. She's 10 years older than me, so basically, once I actually have like memory of my childhood from like 5 years old and so on, she was like already kind of like leaving the house a lot, doing things, so we didn't really like live together per se for too long. But yeah, she has 4 kids. So basically, I grew up as an only child and was spoiled by my parents for a little bit until they divorced when I was 8 years old.
Okay, got you. So basically, you had siblings, but didn't have siblings. And then Willie, how about you? You grew up with siblings? You grew up without siblings? What's the story behind you?
Basically about the same story as Troy. I have a adopted brother. He is
We have lost one of the hosts.
Wait, yep, Cricky disappeared. For a
All
second.
right. He'll be back in a second, he says. So the mic might have picked that up, but I want to make sure I make it clear. Pretty soon, this is a drinking podcast as well, so we will be drinking some alcohol, some apple juice. Sorry,
Apple juice.
it's a very strong apple juice. All right, there goes the first one.
It's fermented. Give you the shits.
Yeah, very fermented apple juice.
So, Troy, is there anything you wanted to talk about in specific today?
I want to talk about the evolution of our parties since our graduation party in 2019.
Oh God, this is about to be crazy.
Specifically, how we have grown to accommodate so many more people at the parties, and so many more unfamiliar faces to arrive.
Alright, so
parties.
I got something for that. How did the very first party start out that y'all's party group had? Because
Graduation.
I know-
Graduation party, graduation night,
I definitely
2019.
wasn't part of that, so I want to hear that.
So our buddy Bruce, his dad was nice enough to let us use his house.
We should start off by saying, like, how, because they obviously don't know shit. So, like, most of us were in the same grade together, except for a select few. So we all pretty much graduated the same night. So, and we have a lot of friends who are probably going to be on the podcast. They'll see in the future. Just an FYI. You keep going, Troy.
But back to what I was saying, our buddy Bruce, his dad let us use his house for our first official party we ever had, and it was pretty much the first time a lot of us had ever heavily drank.
That was the first time
I heavily drank. I don't recall if I was dared or if I did it out of willingness, but
I also drew a penis on his back when he fell asleep.
That's when we all found out we were alcoholics.
I had a red Solo cup that had a little bit of ice in it and was filled practically to the brim with Jack Daniels that I chugged. And past that, I have recollections of there's this game. It's basically like Battleship, but with shot glasses. So whenever you get your ship quote unquote sunk, you have to take a shot. Dump every shot glass on the fucking table. Past that, I think I went back into the living room. The living room and the kitchen are connected. There's no wall or anywhere between. But I walked back over there and started trying to lay down, going to a squatted position, and almost fell and broke one of the two TVs in the living room.
I remember that.
Everyone was trying to get me to the ground, and passed out after that. And remember waking up the next day and having my dad pick me up and all that.
And the whole night you were just saying a bunch of stupid shit. No one could sleep because you were just like...
Was it out of was I like pissed, sad, happy?
No, you were just like, you were happy, but you were like...
Gone.
Yeah, you were gone. Like, you were just saying random shit that like, no one understood what you were trying to fucking say, but you just kept on saying it over and over again. I'm sure you said something coherently, but I can't remember exactly what you said. It was funny regardless.
That's where the party started. Right?
That's where it really started, and I think it really started beginning to evolve when we started going to Troy's house. And fucking Lila, her cousin was there that one time.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story for a whole nother podcast. But basically, I would say, when did you start coming around? Was it at my house?
I came around whenever, their parties were at your house, and the first party I was at, Corey was there, freaking Blaine was there, that other guy was there, freaking, Devin was there,
Fernando was there.
Charity was there, Fernando was there, there was a bunch of people there. Like, it was a party. And that first time was actually, I don't think I drank much the first time I was there, but I got a buzz, and then the next party was Suds.
Suds.
Yeah, Suds was freaking, so, for the podcast's sake, the first party that I ever came to with these wild fellers that we got sitting around this was very simple for me. I took a couple shots, had I think one or two cheerleader beers, got a pretty good buzz, and drove home after that, as stupid as it may be. But second party was a little bit of a different story. I showed up, by God, ended up about, I think it was like 7 shots in total, and then specifically I remember finding a nice comfy office chair or something like that in Garren's kitchen, planting myself there for about 30 or 45 minutes, and then finally come to from just staring into oblivion and hear Garren, Eli, and I look up and I'm like, what's up? And they're like, how you feeling? And I just give them one of them right there, just an okay, like, we're good. Then they're like, you sure? And I'm like, yeah. And they go back to whatever they're doing. And then about 5-10 more minutes passed, it felt like, and they freaking, guys, look at him, guys, put the trash can in front of him, guys, put the trash can in front of him.
You were the whitest I've ever seen someone ever, dude.
Yeah, apparently I was about as white as a white fresh paint job out of a dang car shop or something like that. But by God, next thing I know, trash can was in front of me and just nothing but.
That was really the first time that you really got fucked up.
Oh, that was the first time I got lit, like, ever off alcohol. And I remember after that, I think I went over to the couch and then laid down for a second, and Ricky stood me up, told me to walk one way, and I tried to take a step that way and ended up somehow going the opposite direction I went to step. And he just puts his hand on my back and pushes me into that old, like, back room or whatever it was.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's like, go to sleep. I'm like, okay. And I reckon we are going to take a quick transition / break, and we're all gonna get a nice shot of this here lovely fermented apple juice, and have a good time while we're around this here campfire.
While we're pouring these up, I'm gonna ask Troy, what's your preferred apple juice?
It's an apple juice from Germany called Jägermeister.
That shit's pretty good. I gotta imagine that you drink a lot of it.
Probably does the trick.
I do. I drink quite a hefty amount. Probably not the recommended dosage for a
Jaeger's pretty fucking good.
human being.
It is a pretty...
Before we take this shot, Willie, what's your preferred? I want to make sure I get all of these.
Oh, there comes Ricky.
Ricky's coming back to the
You got a glass?
podcast for all of
Who's in
you
my
watching.
That was Garren.
What's up?
You got a glass?
I have my glasses. I don't have a shot glass.
There's
per se.
You
one.
made a shot glass.
But I brought apple juice and Red Bull, so.
Well.
Yeah, he knows the apple juice. Willie, what's your preferred apple juice for the viewers watching?
Mine is the fiery cinnamon demon from hell,
Fuck that.
also known as Fireball.
I had
Lonely
bad
man's
experiences
drink.
on that. Bad experiences on that. What about you, my friend?
I'd have to say the good old come from Lynchburg itself, Southern Comfort, but specifically the stronger version of Southern Comfort you can get, the 50 proof, not 35 proof or
Which
whatever
is
it is.
actually what we're taking right now.
Oh, y'all got that out here?
That
what I'm
fermented
doing,
apple
yeah.
juice.
That
I
is
wish I
some
had known that.
very good fermented apple juice. Is that
What
is.
about you, Ricky? What's your preferred?
Whatever apple juice hits.
Whatever
juice
apple.
is.
That's what I like to hear.
Whatever takes the pain away.
Yeah.
Technically, I think mine would be the same as Troy's. I like Jaeger a lot just because I can walk around with that shit and drink it like it's actual apple juice.
It's Jaeger flavored apple juice.
Exactly.
It's not Jaeger.
Exactly. I did turn the camera around so we could see if it goes off.
So who doesn't have a apple juice
Oh, no.
shot poured up yet?
I don't.
So we need Troy, we need Garren, we need you as well, Perkinsquilla.
Really, this shit's fire, bro.
You got a glass, or you just gonna grab the bottle?
Oh, fuck. I'll pour that shit all the way.
Who's that?
Two more.
Somebody's
We have
walking
another
on out
guest?
here. We're getting a surprise.
Two more surprise guests.
Two more surprise guests. Who is it? Send them out here. We're taking
All right.
shots out here.
We all
I
got our
just
apple
drank mine.
juice, right?
Apple
Yep.
juice.
All right. Who wants it? Johnny, drink?
Yeah.
You already drank. You
All right.
fucking
Ricky is officially not a host of the CampFire Creatures anymore.
I'm pouring another one, don't
prick.
worry.
He'll be a permanent guest.
He's a permanent guest.
Yeah.
You'll earn the title of host back. Yeah.
Oh god.
Yes.
I've got another one
That
poured
was
up,
a
don't
good
worry.
way to put it. You like so serious, bro. He's like,
Be a permanent guest.
Holy
That's all we're worried
Dude,
about.
I didn't realize that there was someone sitting behind Willie. That scared the fuck out of me.
Fucking hell.
all right,
All
so can I say my
Alright.
thing I usually say?
No,
No.
not the one we normally say. No, 'Cause that'll. Well, I mean, you can edit it out, but you won't be able to put it in the podcast.
Why not?
Because it'll get us demonetized, dude. First things first.
Didn't you just get a strike like 2
Yeah,
weeks ago?
didn't you just
This
get
is
a
on my
strike?
fucking Riot Memes channel.
Well, I know, but do we want to make like any type of money off?
Well,
this
then y'all
podcast?
motherfuckers gotta say something.
I can say just cheers to it. The first official episode of the CampFire Creatures Podcast.
Yeah.
There we go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Skull. Let me take a sip of that Dr. Thunder, son.
Dr. Thunder, man.
We can't afford that regular brand shit.
That wasn't us. That was Josh.
That takes the pain
Show
away.
them what's up.
Anyway.
All right.
How about this way now, huh?
For our next topic, we're going to talk about gas prices and why they're going up.
Ooh.
So, Troy, since you're one of the guests, you and Willie, Troy, I'm going to get your opinion first. What do you think about these gas prices and how does that affect your everyday life?
Personally, since I don't drive a car, I'm personally not affected. However, the company I work for is affected for being a small family-owned company. Gas prices are through the roof for various reasons due to the Middle East and the oil industry.
We got Eddie Bravo coming in to guest star. Come on, Eddie Bravo.
Quick interruption with we got Marv and Stratum coming on out.
We got two more guest stars on the podcast.
Cody.
Vincent
Cody?
and Cody.
Where's Cody?
No, Cody ain't.
Cody said he'd go take a poop.
Well, Cody's missing then.
All right, so our topic, we're talking about gas prices and how it's affecting us. Troy, you're in the middle of saying what you were saying.
Yeah, work for a small family-owned company, and when you have to go fuel up a truck 2 times a week, and it's 50 gallons, and it's $3.50 a gallon at certain gas stations, and you're dropping like $500 a week. I mean, I don't really know why they're too high. Personally, I don't really look into the gas prices all that much because I don't really care too much. But I'm sure it is affecting everyone else here who actually drives a car.
I haven't specifically looked into the reasons why they're rising like they're rising. I have a couple suspicions, but don't really want to get into them. But
What we're here for.
Well, I mean, of course,
Conspiracy podcast, conspiracy theory.
For now, all I'll really focus on is just everyday life and how it affects it. With the truck that I drive, as much as it wastes gas, basically, and the price of it, I drop $80 guaranteed per tank and had to fill it up twice a week. And so there goes a little less than a quarter, if not like maybe a little less than like an eighth of my paycheck on just gas every week, and it's just makes it difficult for budgeting on anything else, like trying to save up for a house, trying to save up for maybe even a different car or maybe something better on gas mileage so I can save money instead of having to waste it on something that's going to continue to rise. Like literally.
There's a gas station. There's a gas station across the bay that's like $3.12 for mid-grade gas.
That's still fucking expensive.
It's
Well, it's expensive, but compared to what's in Freeport, that's pretty good.
And as a
Well,
matter
that's because Freeport, that's just
Freeport
like
is a highway.
This is this is right across from Walmart in Sandusky.
That's totally because the Walmart are like the cheapest gas around. That's still
I mean,
fucking
yeah,
like Walmart gas should be like $2.50. The fact that all this gas is getting so high at the Walmart it's over $3 is fucking ridiculous.
Well, the one thing that I have looked into is the way that they expect it to rise is they say within 2 years it's going to go up another 7 to 8%, which will put us at basically $4 in Florida for flat, regular, normal gas, not even mid-grade, per gallon. And if you think that you're going to like even kind of function paying $4 a gallon, I mean, good luck. You must be making good money.
I say we should introduce our 2 other guests now since they're here officially.
Adam, what you want to say to the podcast?
I don't look at gas prices. What the fuck am I do? Not get gas?
Yeah,
That's fair.
I mean,
Not
I
get
get
gas.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah,
I
but
only
it's
pay
also
like $35 a tank, and I get it for 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks.
yeah, but like
You
imagine
drive
if it
a
was
hybrid.
lower, you could get it for
I'll drive a
25
hybrid.
in the last 2 weeks. That's $10 extra in your
I
fucking
drive,
pocket.
or I use 87 octane.
Right? Is that mid-grade?
All right, Marvin,
Regular?
you drive.
Well, it's
Regular.
83. My car finally gave out, dude.
Really?
Yeah, so
Fuck.
Carlos.
Well, what you want to say, Marvin? Introduce
I mean-
yourself.
He brought the mean bean.
My
Yeah.
name is Marvin Castro. Of course. And I know a lot of people down south don't fuck with like battery cars, like Teslas and shit. But I'm pretty sure they're trying to push us to getting battery cars.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Teslas are fucking dope, though. I'm not gonna lie. I fucking love Tesla.
Everybody in California got Teslas and shit.
Chevrolet is like, I'm pretty sure Chevrolet at this point has completely stopped making gas motor vehicles in
Dodge
2020.
said by
No
2024
way.
they'll have their first all-electric.
Who wasn't there like an electric Mustang or some shit that
Yeah,
came
there
out?
was
Mach-E.
the Mustang
Yeah.
Mach-E. That
I
was
saw
like a
that.
hatchback
Your dad was
sedan.
making fun of one of those last week.
It looks so weird, dude.
I saw it at Publix the other day.
He
That
was-
shit looks kind of
He
crazy.
said, "Dude,
bro.
I wish I had my 5-in-1. I'd go yank that Mustang symbol off of it."
Yeah, it's pretty wild. But no, it does seem like it seems like they're trying to push everyone to get electric instead of using gas. It would be a lot better for the environment. Of
Not
course.
really, because it costs
there's
more. It creates more carbon exhaust to mine the lithium to make the
Yeah.
batteries for the cars than it does to just drive
The
a regular
factories,
gas car.
yeah.
Yeah.
But wouldn't in the long run still it would kind of be better?
I mean, yeah, but
Well, you're
climate
putting-
change is a naturally occurring
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's just going to happen regardless of our influence or not. We're just a catalyst for it to
Right. So if
speed
it's
it
gonna
up.
happen regardless, then why not just do Teslas, right? Fuck it.
I mean, yeah, but they'd have to market down the Teslas to an affordable cost other than
They're not gonna do that.
I like
Yeah,
having
fuck
a
yeah.
gas-powered
And then on
wasteland.
top
I'm
of
sorry.
that, they would have to put charging stations for every single different type of electric car that has a different type of charger in each specific spot, like a gas station.
In
You have
Destin, they already
charging
have
stations.
some battery chargers.
They have them in Defuniac, bro.
Oh,
You would not
They're pushing
think-
over here.
Yeah, you would not think Defuniac would have fucking Tesla chargers, but they fucking do. That's really weird. Since we're on the subject of Tesla, what do y'all think about Elon Musk?
Elon Musk is a
Great
pretty
guy.
cool guy.
Great
That's
guy.
all. That's all I can really
I
say.
think there's a little
I
bit of
wouldn't
shit
say-
that's
I
kind of
wouldn't-
like sketchy about him, dude.
I wouldn't say great guy because I don't know him.
I
but
think there's a
he's
little bit of
pretty
shit
cool
that's
guy.
sketchy
Pretty
about
down to
anybody with
earth.
that much
Yeah,
money.
he's
Yeah.
a pretty cool guy.
He
deserves
to be rich for everything he's done.
But I feel like all we see is
Working
like
towards-
his internet personality. We don't really see him like
It's
behind
that way
closed
with
doors.
about anybody
Oh,
with
yeah,
money,
that's
though. All you
anyone.
see
Right.
is what they
Well, that's
let
why I
you
don't
see.
think anybody is
He's
fucking
doing,
as
he's doing
great
the right
as I
thing to curb climate change. He's trying to get us off the planet. It's the only way to fix it.
He's
Gotta go
Oh,
back.
yeah.
commercialized.
Commercialized space
Spatial-
travel.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
that'd
have a
be pretty
question.
wild.
What's up?
Do you guys ever think that gas-powered vehicles are going to go away?
Never.
Yeah,
I
Never.
think
they're gonna
no.
try
They
to.
won't ever go away.
I feel like it's gonna
It's
be
gonna
like
be
the
a while.
same. Yeah, it's gonna be a while, but when it does
You're
happen,
not, there's no way
I
they'll
think it's
go
gonna
away.
be.
The oil companies all in the Middle East, or they have too much money and governments everywhere to lobby to keep fucking
I
gas
feel
cars
like
here. You'll never see the gas car
They're
go
going
away.
to try
ever.
damn
Well,
hard.
no, see, I feel like this is
outside
where both sides blend
We
together
talking about
in that
America? Or
argument.
like
No, we're talking
If-
about like everywhere.
If you
Like no
think-
gas power,
I
like
think everywhere. 'cause there's
No,
the
because
undeveloped
if they're getting rid of all gas powered machines, that means they're going to be getting rid of the gas powered tugboats and barges that deliver every package across the open ocean. And you cannot create as of right now, you cannot create a big enough electric motor to pull that sheer amount of. I would have to go on and guess that a barge is probably in the realm of like 5,000 tons worth of cargo fully loaded. There's not a big enough electric motor or multiple electric motors that is going to push that across the open ocean.
well, say like we're just talking about cars. Do you
I was
think there will
gonna-
only
yeah,
be
that's where
cars
I
that are
wanted to
electric,
divulge into.
or do you think that there will always be gas cars?
There
no
will
matter
always
what?
be gas cars because the electric powered semi truck, an electric car can create its own torque, yes, but you're not going to make enough torque to pull a fully okay. The trailers they pull behind semi trucks, the big box ones, those weigh 30,000 pounds fully empty.
Right.
They usually load another 30,000 pounds worth of cargo to bring it around the either the Americas or any European country. I personally do not believe that they're going to make a strong enough battery to give out that much power to deliver that much amount of weight on a on an everyday basis, driving 12 hours a day. There's
So
no way.
you don't
I
think
feel like
you don't think
No,
that
I feel like we're-
batteries can get good enough to where they can do that?
Maybe later down in the future, but as of right now, no. The gas car will be here for the next probably 4 generations of people. We're not going to get rid of gas.
I feel like where Troy and where the side of Troy and maybe my perspective or our perspective, I could say, line up is I feel like they won't get rid of the diesel power that is what's powering those. 'Cause
They're not
a lot
gonna-
of that is
They'll
like,
get rid of natural.
power.
They'll get rid of natural diesel and natural gas, and they'll create synthetic stuff like biodiesel. But they're never going to get rid of gas or diesel engines ever.
I feel like where traditional
Now-
gas and diesel engines are gonna stay permanently, even as they're pushed towards like obsoleteness, quote unquote, because they may never get rid of them, yes, but they will try to make them seem like they're a worse option.
Our current best option for any alternate powered vehicle is going to either be magnet repulsion from our Earth's core or hydrogen powered cars.
I've heard of
Electric
hydrogen, yeah.
electric will never work.
Tell
not-
Elon Musk that.
It won't work in the long run. It's not going to work. You're going to run out of lithium.
Yeah,
You'll run out of
very true.
lithium before you run out of natural gas to burn.
So have you
Trying to
ever
get us all
heard
close so
of
they can't.
this shit that Elon Musk is trying to work with, like antimatter, where like they don't fully understand it, but he says it's like the same power as like 1,000 batteries. So it's like basically a supercharged battery.
When they create antimatter and dark matter, when it's created, it lasts for maybe a nanosecond before it dissolves
And that's the
itself
problem.
away.
Yeah,
So,
it
like,
has
what-
such a small half life that
I feel like-
it can basically not exist.
If they were if they were able to control it and actually use it effectively, I think that would
That
100%
burning metal
be
wire
our
smells great, man.
like
I see-
main way of fucking
It
transportation.
smells great.
What we're going to
It doesn't
use
have
as
to
alternate
smoke,
power, I think, is going to be hydrogen,
Burn up.
because when you burn hydrogen as fuel, the exhaust from that is just water. That's when we power our jets with is all hydrogen-based fuel. The exhaust from that white cloud you see behind it, is basically just water vapor. So I think that is going to be the most environmentally friendly option. But to get that amount of hydrogen into a car, you need gas and diesel-powered machines. So I don't think there's going to be a way to, in the near future, to mine either A, enough lithium, or B, pump enough hydrogen to not... Mining lithium and getting the hydrogen is going to skyrocket higher than it's going to be to drive cars that are based off of hydrogen or lithium that'll end the carbon exhaust from vehicles, if you get what I'm getting at. We're going to create more to try to create less, but we're just going to create too much, and it's not going to matter at that point.
Well,
there's going to be too much already made. There's already a hole in the ozone layer that is we revolve around. So we already have gamma rays entering the atmosphere as we speak. So,
well, with the mindset that a lot of people are in nowadays, they would rather not look at it that way and just try something to try and fix it instead of realize that what we have is already the best option.
The best option, when we were talking back in the 40s and 50s, when they released books on what the future is going to be like in the year 2000, they were talking about flying vehicles and such. The way to achieve that is not going to be based off of thrusters, because you can't make enough thrusting power to levitate a vehicle for that long.
Right.
You use magnet repulsion from the Earth's core and the magnetic field, get a reverse magnetic field from it, and you make the car hover, and then you can use like retro propulsion. I can't remember what the actual name is that we use in space. You release a little bit of gas, and with no friction, you'll move a lot. But with a lot of friction that we have now, you'll be able to move a little bit. But that's how they'll propel a car forward. So you're going to use the Earth's magnetic core to push a car forward. In my opinion, I think that is the best option.
That's something good that we can kind of dive into right there. Well, how about Willie? Willie, I want to hear your opinion on this. How do you think the Earth is going to look in 10 years? What do you think the future is going to look like? Or what do you want it to? What do you want it to look like? Well, I know.
I think it's going to be the same exact shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Say looking up 50 years.
All right. Well, we'll say in that case, we'll say 75 years. We'll say 75 years. What do you think and want the Earth to look like?
Rather than speaking Mandarin.
75 years. We're
problem.
still talking about the vehicle standpoint.
We're talking about anything.
No, like,
just the
how do you
world.
think
Just how do you think
society
the world and
is going to
society
be
will
in the
change
Earth and all
within
that shit?
75 years?
I say we're fucked.
And how do you want it to change specifically?
I'll be
in
dead
the
in
end,
75 years, so I ain't going to worry about it.
To be honest, I kind of like my old town calm type deal. Everything in our little section of the world right now in Florida is growing at a very rapid rate.
Yeah,
It's going to be
Our
booming.
little 1,000 population town that it once was back when we were young is now almost at the 10, 15, 20,000 mark, I'd say. And the county that we live in was a few years ago was the most growing population county in like construction wise and all that. Like it was a lot of things changed within the last 10 years.
Well, right now, our town, if you want to, maybe not your town because your town is Bruce, but our town, like Freeport-wise, is one of the fastest growing small towns in the Florida Panhandle right now.
Yeah, Walton County is
literally.
the fastest growing county
Yeah,
in the nation, I should say.
it's one of the most advertised as the beautiful beaches spot of Florida places along the coast, and then Highway 331 runs directly through Freeport, so
Right.
we're a highway town. Like,
So I-10, like from Defuni, you got to go through Freeport to get over to Santa Rosa. Or if you want to go straight to Destin, you can always take that bridge, but it's a $4 toll.
yeah,
So Freeport's definitely fucking growing, especially since, our last generation lived here. It's been like a little fishing village, if even that. And now it's becoming like a whole fucking like city almost.
yeah. I was gonna say it's almost a small city if you would look at it as that, and it used to just be a little town with a couple dirt roads and a couple,
It was
couple
just a
places
port.
to go.
Shit, you remember
That's
us
all
in
it
middle
was, it was
school?
a port.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was like fucking nothing here at Kelly's. And someone OD'd in Kelly's. It was like a really shitty
I
like
remember that.
grocery
yeah.
store. Someone
Yeah,
found
no.
someone fucking dead in the bathroom on overdosing on drugs.
Yep.
Got shut down, to say the least. And Publix came in, and ever since then, I think everything just fucking blew up.
Crazy fact.
Everything.
Publix
fact,
is what
I was there
skyrocketed.
at the signing of when Kelly's got bought out. from.
Oh, by Skippers? Or
No,
was
it,
something
wasn't, it
before?
wasn't Skippers. No. I'm talking about the actual like brand Kelly's all around the
Oh,
world.
when it first became a thing.
When it became Benny Keith Food Production bought out Kelly's, and they had a big golf tournament, and me and my uncle, he works for Kelly's, or he did. We played in that golf tournament, and we were there for the signing of one of a big food company becoming another.
That's pretty crazy.
I got a question for all of you about the climate change.
Let's hear it.
So we have a lot of trash being made every year. What do you guys think is the best option for getting rid of said trash?
So remember when you said,
into the void.
you know how you said in 75 years how the Earth's gonna look like? It's gonna look like a giant fucking dump heap.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
There's gonna be giant hills of fucking trash. Have you ever been to the Definiac fucking the fucking trash site? Dude, it's
You
like,
know those
it's like you're in
hills you
fucking
drive up on?
Pennsylvania, dude. Yeah. Like mountains
All
of
that
trash,
is
bro.
mountains of trash that have been covered up by
By
dirt.
dirt and grass.
That's all it
Freeport's
is.
getting big too.
Yeah, I know. That's
They're
where this dude
landfills.
used to live. In the Freeport trash dump.
No,
I
yeah.
think the first step would be
if
just
you
moving
wanna-
towards biodegradable materials.
Yeah, that'd be very,
Something, yeah. If you could reuse it, then we're fucking straight.
What
But I
do
don't
you
think
what
they
do you think
found
is
an
the best way of
effective
getting rid of it with the trash
to
we
get
have now?
rid of the
The
trash.
trash we have
send
now.
it, as awful as it may be for space, send it into space.
Yeah,
I'd say
okay.
send it to
Send it into space, yes, but use our Earth's natural gravity and create a slingshot of power and
Yeah.
send it to the sun.
Oh, well,
Let the
you
big
could.
ball of gas absorb.
We got
all.
another guest
Yeah,
star.
but then you may be like,
You'll be losing,
Cody Laflin, what do you wanna
mass
say?
over time.
Whose streets? Our streets. Whose
oh,
streets?
God.
Yeah, dude.
All right, so Marvin, what is the conspiracy theory that you think you could believe the easiest? Because it has the most evidence.
And that I could believe the easiest.
Yeah. You can sit anywhere. You'll be in for him.
Yeah,
You're gonna block Marvin though.
Shit, I don't even
Just
know.
sit in front of the
I believe
camera.
a lot of
Get on Troy's lap.
So okay, let me
I can't really name one.
let me bring one that you might believe. I don't know if you would or not. What do you think about the moon landing? You think it's real or think it's fake?
I mean, I believe we went on the moon, but it's
Yeah.
believable that we didn't go to the moon at that time.
So I agree with that because like back then we did not have the fucking technology. You could say we did, but it was nothing to be like get on the fucking moon, let them fucking chill out there for a bit and come back. No fucking way. And then here's a good theory that I thought about that was actually kind of like serious. When you bring film into space, that radioactivity kind of ruins the film.
Yeah,
so
but
they say they
the-
might have went there, but they might have just
The
faked
argument
actual
for
film.
why we didn't go is because you can't see the Earth that well and you can't see the sun. That would be
too.
that
yeah.
goes back to the radioactivity. That's why it's not that clear of a picture.
So what do you think? Do you think
I
it's
think we
real?
landed on the moon for sure.
For sure?
100%.
You like 100%
I do not.
believe
I'm
it.
not one of the people who believe that we did it to waste the money of the USSR. That's what people think. We went there, or we staged going there, so that way Russia would waste all their money during the Cold War to try to get there. That was the goal.
So you don't believe in the whole footprint thing?
The
with
foot-
the different matching footprints on the astronaut suits?
I can't sit here and personally tell you that why the footprint is actually true. There is research out there that shows that that was his actual footprint. The suit that he had was the actual footprint. You'd have to go look that up for yourself. Don't take my word for it. But go do your own research and go look at it. That the suit he was actually wearing matched that footprint. That was.
Cody, you're blocking the
that was
fire.
fake.
You're blocking the fire, Cody. Cody's blocking the fire. Someone kick him off.
Cody's blocking the fire, golly.
Just sit next to Marvin with the
Scoot that
fucking
over.
center block.
Honestly,
need to
I
put
feel
more
like
stuff on the fire.
we
There's no chair.
had just enough technology to make it at the time, and they got kind of lucky in a way that they were able to do it the way they did. Because we all know that, I mean, with our smartphone, we could probably have the same amount of processing power that they had for the entire computer that ran that mission.
Yeah,
But
I've seen like
at the
computers
same-
already had.
At the same time, there's enough evidence that there's more evidence, in my opinion, that points towards us actually having gone than not having gone.
Here's my thing about it though. Like,
Are you gay?
it may not. I hope y'all heard
Quick,
that.
quick side question.
So,
Cody, are you gay?
Well, I have a reaction video. I want Garren's genuine reaction right now.
on podcast live. All right, let me see.
Can I see the video real quick? Cody? Let me see the video first, and then show Garren.
I'll explain what I'm watching, or I might put the actual
No, you
video
probably
in.
won't.
So yeah, I will.
Might edit it.
I mean, maybe not. So okay, how many of you follow Alex Jones or have heard of Alex Jones?
Heard of him?
I've heard of
Huh?
Who's that?
You have?
I have.
Okay. Yeah. So
chemicals in the water.
Yeah.
he
Okay,
says
yeah.
that.
By the
Alex
way, that
Jones-
came out to be true.
Yeah.
That was true.
No.
Really?
So
Yeah,
Alex Jones says a lot of stupid shit that you would think is fake, but it's like, he said Sandy Hook was fake. That was fucked up.
That
But
was
besides that, most of the shit he says was kind of like real. Like you can look it up, it's like straight up real. So, have you guys heard of Bohemian Rhapsody? Bohemian Grove.
Oh yes, I wanted to
Grove,
talk about
bro.
this. I wanted to talk about this.
I haven't heard
Okay,
of it.
so you never heard of Bohemian Grove?
No.
Okay, so just to recap, Bohemian Grove, Alex Jones used to be a journalist. He still is kind of, but he used to be an independent journalist where he goes and interviews people who are like elites, globalists, whatever, lobbyists. You guys know what lobbyist is?
Kinda, yeah.
It's basically you're a politician where you pay people to do what you want, basically. So basically there was this group of like the 1% of people who are rich as hell, right?
Yeah.
And Cody's currently dying back there. And he snuck into this secret club. I forgot what state it's in. You can look
California, North California, the
There you
Redwood
go.
Forest.
it up. Yeah. So it's supposed to be like no one's allowed in there. Only members who are a part of that 1% are allowed in there. And Alex Jones snuck in. They had no fucking questions asked. He just walked in, they didn't question him, whatever. And actually, a really good podcast is actually Joe Rogan's podcast with Alex Jones. He explains a lot more, but basically he snuck in. They started doing a ritual to a fucking an effigy
Big
of a
owl.
big owl. I forgot his name, but he was like an owl
Great
god.
horned owl.
Yeah, and it's a bunch
No
of
way.
And look, it's a bunch of like you can ask fucking.
I have not heard this story, but I've heard some
Dude,
shit about a great horned owl.
You've got to fucking see the fucking documentary he did on it. So he sneaks in and he has it on live footage, bro. They're in robes and shit, like rich people, like fucking Bill Gates and fucking George Clooney and crazy people like that, right?
Yeah.
And they're burning a fucking wooden effigy that's in a fucking owl, like a god. And they're like praising it and saying all these chants and shit. And they were like super gay. And what they would do to keep your secrecy is they would make you fuck other guys, basically. And so you can't tell anyone else about what's going on because you're a part of it too.
Yeah.
So basically trap you in this cult, kind of. And it's just kind of fucking crazy. So I wonder, why would they do that? That's my question. Why would they do that? Why has something so secret? And if you ask them, there's plenty of journalists who say like, oh, it's a secret club where we just unwind and blah blah blah, and it's nothing dangerous or anything bad. It's just blah blah blah, and it's super chill to them. But it's so weird to us. If you see someone fucking burning shit in the middle of the fucking woods, you're like, what the fuck is going on? So what do you guys think about that?
I wonder if this has anything to do with Mr. Epstein.
Oh,
He's there.
100%.
He's been there.
He was there.
He's been there.
He's a part of it.
And that's where this gets
Wait,
good.
who killed Epstein?
Damn, bro.
Killed Epstein.
Himself.
They
He
did.
killed himself.
Yeah.
No,
Killed
Epstein,
himself.
100%. He did not kill himself.
Or no, that's all right.
We're gonna get
Thank
taken
you.
down.
Nobody not kill himself, sorry.
We're
Nobody
gonna
has
get
that
taken
many
down.
friends.
Talking about
Edit
Epstein.
it out or
Nobody
something.
has that many friends that
Subject.
just kill themselves.
Listen, do you think Trump was part of Epstein? Because there was pictures taken with him.
I mean,
Do you
he's been to
think
the
he was part of the
he's been to the
island?
island. There's no proof to say that he assaulted or raped any young girls like people have claimed. But I mean, he's been to the island, sure. So
I don't know. He might have fucked
I
his
don't.
daughter.
I don't know.
What the fuck?
I don't really know if he had anything to do with it. But I mean,
Yeah, didn't he say some fucking weird
I don't
shit?
So-
know. There's a lot of shit that you don't know.
We'll go back to that later. But what the fuck is up with the Bohemian Rhapsody shit, bro?
Grove.
Like,
Bohemian
Bohemian
Rhapsody.
Rhapsody. I
Bohemian
mean, fuck,
Rhapsody.
Bohemian Grove, dude. It's a
Freddie
good song.
Freddie Mercury comes out.
But Bohemian Grove. If you were to you saw that for the first time, what the fuck would go through your head the first time you saw some shit like that? Like you just
Yeah.
stumbled upon
If
it.
you were to just stumble
I just
upon
think
that,
satanic shit.
I was gonna
Exactly.
say the first thing I would think
Cody,
is
you jonesing
some type
over there,
of
dude?
specifically satanic.
What?
You jonesing over there? You all right?
Fucking hot.
What do you think about
There's
that?
a fire
Troy?
in
right
front
next
of
to
you.
the fucking
Troy,
fire.
what do you think about that?
I find it weird that
Nah.
every
Yeah.
member of the Bush family has been there.
Yeah.
Maybe he's back up a bit.
Every politician who has, Reagan has been there with the, his thing with the war on drugs. You have Richard Nixon, who's there with his Watergate scandal. I find it very odd that all these dudes that have been there have caused global problems who have went there with people of the 1%. So after they go, Then you have this global catastrophe that happens, or a local catastrophe that'll happen,
Whoa.
that the president started after they went to this Bohemian Grove with the people who control the economics of the world.
When you say the 1%,
Keep the
are you
rich
talking about
rich
a
and keep the
specific
poor
race?
poor. That's the basis of it right there.
Talking about class and
You're not gonna name. You're gonna name them.
We can't. No, we can't.
name. They're very into.
No.
He's talking about them.
Oh
Them.
my god. No,
Them.
not them. What do you think about that? Have you heard that shit before? What the fuck would you think? What?
Oh, bro, you know what's funny? I knew what you was talking about as soon as he did that.
When I want to fuck with that shit.
But I just had to
Oh, no, it
confirm.
seems kind
I
of
was
weird.
what?
Like, why an owl god?
If you were to stumble upon that and you were any type
think they're
of
part
a
of some-
sane
Yeah,
or
the owl god's
ordinary person, like I feel like
It's called what?
No, let him finish. I was all.
if you were to stumble upon that as a normal everyday person, I feel like the first thing that would run through your mind is like satanic. The second thing that would run through your mind after you're walking away from it is, okay, if it wasn't satanic, these people are just crazy. The third thing that would run through your mind after that is, now why did I go out of my way to find these people? And at least that's what I would think. Why did I even try to get involved with these people?
See, now if he went out there and saw this, there's a reason he went out there. He just can't say it.
Yeah.
Who?
Alex
Did you
Jones.
talk-
Alex Jones?
He went out there for a reason. He knew what he was walking up to find.
No, no one had any idea what Bohemian Grove
No,
was
you
about
can't. It's just like,
before
okay,
he went in there.
it's the same thing. The Supreme Court, you cannot film or take pictures while court is in session at the Supreme Court. You cannot record or film anything at the Bohemian Grove. It's supposed to
Right.
be complete secrecy,
And
sworn
it's-
secrecy.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be like no one knows about it. Like you guys had no idea what the fuck this was.
And he just managed to walk up on him.
Yeah.
Now,
He's
how
been-
the fuck does that make sense?
He's been studying it for years, and
Yeah.
he had hidden camera. I can't remember the other dude's name. But some
Okay,
British
so
guy.
he's been studying it for years.
He's
Right.
he's
He didn't
known
just
about it
stumble on
through
it.
leaks about it.
Right.
So he
It
went
was never
there as an
confirmed that it was
investigative
real.
journalist.
It was never actually proved it was real, so he went to the location that he thought where it was, and sure enough, there was a guard at the gate that said, okay, who are you? And I guess he snuck past them, didn't even go to the gate, just went around it, or got over it. I don't know how the fuck he said he did it, but he got in, and everyone that was there didn't question, because Alex Jones really wasn't that big back then. No one knew who this was. If he were to walk in there now, everyone knows who the fuck he is. But so no one had any information on